sure if it would be recorded or not, so that's good.
I can always record them. So yep, and then we'll figure out. I still need to figure out how to make them private and only allow certain people to watch it. I know it's not technically that hard, just one of those things I've taken the time to do.
Gotcha.
So great. Well, let me thank you. First of all, I want to thank Jordan for hosting this tonight because it's just so much fun. I love meeting new people. I love sharing some good information, and I'll introduce myself. And then Jordan, I'll ask you just to tell us a little bit about what you've got out of kind of working with me in the training and what you've liked about it. Is that okay? Okay, so I'm Michelle Withers, and I do coaching with families, with women, with business people. I do a variety of things between goal setting and sales training, and it's something that I just love, and I do as much as I can, and I do some public speaking and have a book on goal setting, and it's just a really fun topic, and you grow a lot, you learn a lot when you work on these things. So I've been with 3 different direct sales companies, won their award, their kudos, so just so you know, I've been where you're at. And I love sales. It's not easy. I don't love everything about sales, but I learned to like the hard things that make me money and successful and help me reach more people with the things I believe in. So that's the kind of things we're going to talk about tonight. So we're going to talk about finding customers in your everyday life, because between going to grocery stores or doctor's offices or play groups or whatnot, there are people you're running into. Is there any chance we can make those customers? So that's what we're going to talk about. But first, I'm going to let Jordan tell you a little bit about her experience and why she's been working with me and what she's got out of it.
Yeah, Hillary, most of you guys know Hillary, one of our upline. She had a little meeting, and she had hosted a little class like this online, and we ended up doing like a doTERRA success system for, what are we on, like week 12?
Yeah, we're almost done.
Almost done, but each week we kind of go over something new, whether it be over like finding new clients or a different topic each week, and just helping us with goal setting ourselves, whether it be personal, business, anything like that. And I just learned a lot of tips and tricks, and especially I think we're gonna go over a little bit of like the art of questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
How's that benefited your business?
How's what fitted?
How has questions benefited your business? Being able to
Big time. I feel that, you're going to talk about it more, but I just feel that how you go about and just ask the questions to where they're saying the answer. They say that, if you're telling them something, then they're going to, I don't know what the word is for it, but then if you're asking them questions and it's coming out of their mouth, and it's more truth to them.
Mm-hmm.
And just asking the questions and really like digging deep to find what their needs are for the product, or if they even have any needs for the product, then that's going to be your key into helping them and having them help you with your business and things like that. Yeah, I just feel that, if you make it more personable and you're asking more questions, then they, know and feel that you're caring about what they need and not just trying to sell whatever.
Right. So what kind of success have you seen from it? What have been what's been the outcome for you?
I have just had a much easier time just talking to people, and not because there's something that always comes up that it's like, oh, there's an oil, I can tell her about this. And so just instead of just flat out going and saying that I have this, and I don't want it to just come off as me being like a salesman, because that's not my intention.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really just want to share with people that there is a better and cheaper, safer health solution that they could use, especially with kids and being pregnant, those kind of things. And I just really want to share it. And so I don't want to come off sounding like a saleswoman. And so coming out of it and just like asking questions more, like if they have allergies, and going about saying, oh, you're suffering from allergies, what all have you tried? And
Mm-hmm.
Going out of more of that kind of way, and like what kind of symptoms are you having, and
good job,
worked for you, that kind of thing, and then going into the doTERRA.
Well done. You have learned that well. Good job. So do you feel like your sales or number of people you work with or your recruiting has benefited from that?
Yeah, I think so. I'm still getting used to getting out there and like trying to talk with more people. I've just been so busy, so I haven't got to use it too much, but I just so far I just feel a lot more comfortable getting out there and even talking to people, and I know that I'm not coming off sounding like I don't want to sound.
Yeah. Do you use it in group settings?
Yep. I actually in my class last night, I tried to do, ask more of those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
But but I would say I guess I haven't had too much practice in that, but more like one-on-ones.
Gotcha. Perfect. Yeah. Well, I hope last night you were able to kind of identify people's needs a little better. Did that happen as you went through the night versus get to the end of a presentation and not know what to sell them? Like, did you kind of find out
Oh,
what they need as they went?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and kind of started that off with at the beginning and asking them, some of their main concerns so that I could add that to my class.
Perfect.
Um, yeah,
Awesome. Well done. Okay, we just had another caller come in.
I
Hi.
think it's fun. She's probably
Hi.
yeah. Is this Caitlin?
Yes.
Yeah, she's just getting off work and driving home, so she'll.
Well, welcome. Where are you from?
I'm from Washington State, but I'm living in North Carolina right now.
Oh, well, welcome.
Thank you.
So, do you enjoy it there?
Um, it's definitely different. I'm getting used to it. I've been here for about a year now, so it's growing on me a little bit.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, fun. A lot more trees, I bet.
What was that?
A lot more trees, I bet. Is there a lot more trees?
Sorry. Yes, it's really, really pretty here. It's 100 degrees 1 minute, and then it's pouring rain the next.
Oh, funny.
Crazy.
Yeah, so lots of thunderstorms.
Cool. Fun. Okay. Well, I'm so sorry. Tell me your name one more time. Forgive me.
My name's Caitlin.
Caitlin. Okay. Got you down. Perfect. Okay. So we are going to get started with talking about how to find clients, and this is just so much fun. So I'm going to tell you just the tiniest story of mine just because I want you to have lots of hope. Okay. This kind of stuff does work. So, and this is my story. On one of the occasions I got to use it. So, I live in Washington State now. At one point, I lived in North Dakota, and then I lived in Montana. In between those two, so I just kind of kept making my way west. And I moved to Montana into Great Falls without knowing a single person. So I had no circle of influence whatsoever in this town. And I was with a specific company and had been doing well in North Dakota, and of course wanted to keep it going. And so I set a goal, and my goal was to find 8 parties or book 8 parties within 30 days. That was my goal. And put that down and decided to go for it and see what it was going to take. And I kept my eyes open and I went to networking things. And I was sending some stuff in a box that had the name of the company that I was working for at the time at the post office. Met some, hey, I think I've heard of that. What does that do? Booked a party with her. Anyway, it's just amazing what you can do. But you got to write it down, and then I'm going to tell you a few skills that will help you with that. So I hope that you have just a good time and you ask any questions you want, and I hope that I empower you with some tools. So the first thing that's really, really, really important is that you set a goal with how many people that you want to find in a certain amount of time. I am a big believer in goal setting. I believe in writing things down. You really will see amazing things. When I was doing this kind of business, one of my favorite places to keep my goals was right by the speedometer in my car. Quite frankly, I was always going somewhere, and I always have to double check I'm not speeding because I'm usually late or in a hurry. And so that was a place I'd look over and over again, and my goals would be there. And the nice thing about my goal being there was that it's the last thing I saw as I jumped out of the car. If I was heading into Target, into a post office, into a doctor's office, it's the last thing I saw. So if that's the last thing you see when you jump out of your car to go into wherever you're headed, play group or even church or whatever, at least you saw it, and it kind of is the last thing on your heart, in your mind. Hey, is there someone here who might need my help today? And you would be shocked at how just that alone starts to shift and starts to bring people into your life who need you. Okay? Do each of you believe that somebody needs to meet you? That because of the oils you have, because of the knowledge you have, because of how you can help them, do you believe that someone needs to meet you?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You believe that?
Thing is, I have another success group that I'm in, and they were talking about that too, of just having the thoughts and having the goals, and just sitting there thinking over and over, okay, this is my goal, but I need, this many more people, and I really want to get out there and, help that many people. It is crazy that people just start messaging me, or just, walk into me at the store, or see me using the oils, and then they start talking to me. And I really saw a big jump and how many people started talking to me once I started setting those goals
Awesome.
beforehand. So I really am a believer in them too.
Yep, it's pretty amazing what happens. And I'm telling you, it is a mindset. It's something, it's not that you will it to happen, it's just you choose to believe it's going to happen. One of the things I always keep on my heart is just a prayer of who needs to hear this? Who needs to hear this message? Who needs to find out this information? And it's amazing when I kind of think that and kind of just put it out there and let it go and know that the people that I'm supposed to meet going to have opportunities to meet them. And that's the thing, it's an opportunity. Then I'm going to tell you how to take advantage of that opportunity. Okay. So one of the things that's really, really important, in my opinion, to do is that you make sure you start deciding that it's not just that you're going to find customers while you're out and about, but that you're just simply going to choose to make more friends. Okay? This is what I decided to do. When I was young, I was telling Cassie, right? You have a little 3-year-old. She was chatting and so excited to be on the camera. And I was like that. When I was little, I talked to everyone. And you get older, and then I had parents who were more shy, so that just made them uncomfortable. And so then I toned it down, and I decided, nope, I'm going to go back to the way I used to be. I talked to everybody, I had fun, I got to know lots of people, and I'm going to go back to being that kind of person. So I decided I was just going to talk to people, and if some of them end up customers, great. If not, I was going to meet more people and be more who I wanted to be. Now, if that wasn't your natural self when you were little, that's okay. You can choose to be that way if you want to. I'm just saying that was kind of my story. So start just talking to people, and it's amazing. And I'm going to give you some ways to start conversations that makes you feel authentic and you can be sincere in what you do. I'm going to tell you quite frank, I don't want you starting a conversation just in 100% hopes that you're going to sell something to them or they're going to become a new customer. You won't come off authentic. People feel that there's kind of this weird tension in the air when they can tell that you're only trying to sell. Versus if you really want to get to know them and you find something that they need, then you can help them, great. But I just want you to start like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to start talking to people, and I'm going to give you some ways to do that, because sometimes that can be like, okay, but how do I do that? Okay, so like I said, you put your goal down first, you post it in different places. Some of my other favorite places are on the fridge, by your mirror, or on the mirror, by your bed, those kind of things. And then start tweaking that thought process. I'm going to meet new friends. I'm going to meet new friends. I'm going to meet new friends. And I've written down how many I want to meet. And this is all going to work out. I'm going to have these opportunities. So this is where we figure out what to do when the opportunity comes. Who's ever had an experience where there was someone in a grocery store, or you're sitting by somebody at a park bench, and even something gets brought up. Maybe their child is sick, or maybe they comment on their husband's back pain or something like that. And you're like, okay, I really want to tell about the oils, but I'm just not sure how to go from where we're at now to that and it not sound funny. Like, has anybody ever had that experience where they just kind of bailed from talking about it because they just didn't know what to say?
Yes.
Yes. I don't think, Jordan, you do nearly as much now, but
Actually, it was something that came up yesterday when me and Hillary went to lunch, and there was our waitress was pregnant, and she came up, and we were just asking her, how far along she is, and how she's excited, and how she brought up that, oh, she's super excited, but man, she's been having a lot of back pain. And we just looked at each other like, well, there's our opportunity, and just talking to people, and just start talking to people. And I mean, the oils can be used for everything, so it's amazing just talking with people how, I mean, it just comes right out of their mouth.
right.
So yeah, so it's gotten a lot easier.
Cool. So let me tell you a little bit. If you're not in a situation where the conversation just instantly happens, what we definitely need is some conversational starters. So I'm going to give you some ideas there, and they're fun. It's, if you think about when people talk to you, it's normal, it's natural, just enjoy it. Like I said, we just want the first thought to be, I'm going to make new friends, and then from there you might make them customers. So then the first thing that you need to talk about is anything that's just a compliment always starts a conversation. It's just easy. You can give a compliment about what they're wearing. You can compliment them on how well their kids are behaving. You can compliment them on their hair. You can compliment them. There's so many different things. First conversation starter that's perfect for anything is either a compliment or asking them like a question about the thing that you like. That's actually even better because it gets them talking versus just saying yes or thank you or appreciate that. Asking, hey, where did you get that bag? Who does your hair? Gosh, you look good in purple. Do you wear that color a lot? There's lots of different things you can do. So give a compliment and find a way to kind of get a question in there with that compliment. And all the different questions that we're going to talk about, we want to make sure that they're open-ended, okay? What it means to have an open-ended question is that instead of the answer only going to have the chance to either be yes or no, so you could say, hey, here's an example. Someone might say, have you ever heard of doTERRA essential oils? And the answer would be yes or no. And you may not know where to go from there. But you could use instead a question like, hey, tell me what you know about doTERRA essential oils. And if they say, I don't know what that is, I've never heard of that. Well, can I tell you more about it? Versus, oh, well, I've heard they do this, this, and this. Not really sure. Well, can I tell you more about that? But if you just get a yes or a no and it just stops, like you're not really sure where to go from there. So we want to make sure that our questions are nice and open-ended. We learn a lot more about people like that. So there were all those questions like ask them about their children, how old are they, how many do you have, ask them about what they're wearing, something they're buying. I'll ask people, hey, have you had this before? Is this the first time you're having it? Is it good? I've thought about buying it but never have. Asking them, because I'm not originally from the Tri-Cities and because we have these 3 different cities here, I like to ask people if they're from the area. I love to talk about Tri-Cities because I just love it here. I really do. And I just find it an easy, neutral subject to talk about, to just ask them about, are you from here? Which city do you live in? You can ask them if they work. They're, all sorts of different things. But make sure whatever you do that you try to make it a open-ended question versus a yes/no question, okay? Then you have what I call our positive questions. It's real easy to think in sales that if we can ask them about and find, okay, let's say, for example, you were talking to the gal who was pregnant at the restaurant, and you're thinking, okay, we want to find a reason for her to need this oil. You could ask, hey, what's the worst part about being pregnant? Okay, but for some reason, there's something psychological. People, if they're going to be negative, they want it to be on their own terms. Does that make any sense? They want it to be on their terms. And so you can't just, what I have found instead is people like it when we actually ask a positive question. Hey, what do you like about blank? hey, what's important to you about this? And okay, so let's say somebody comes in with a car that they want to trade in and they want to get a new car. The salesman wants to make sure that all the good parts about this car now also fall in the next car, and then he makes it even better, okay? So asking, what do you like about the car that you have now? They're going to tell him, but they're going to go, but this is why I'm here. I hate this, 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 and this about it. When you ask them what they like about something, quite frequently, it's kind of funny, but quite frequently they will then automatically start telling you what they don't like about it, okay? Whether it's, you know, maybe the way they look or their health or, you know, whatever it is that they were shopping for. It's kind of funny. You just ask what they like about something, and there's a couple, then automatically they'll tag on to that what they don't like sometimes. So what do you like about, what's your favorite part about, what do you know about, what is your experience with, all those questions. So you could, you know, what do you like about being a mom? What is your favorite part of being a mom? What do you know about play groups or oils or, you know, anything? What has your experience been? You know, tell me a little bit about more. Is this your only child? You could go into the experience. Hey, you know, I know there's been a couple flu bugs going around. What's your experience been with that? Have you guys been getting sick? There's all sorts of different kind of questions that you can ask to prompt them and get them to talk. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. So if for some reason they didn't instantly kind of start tack on to the negative, what they don't like about something, that's where you can ask them, hey, tell me, you know, gosh, I have these 3 young kids, they're all close in age. What's the, you know, what's the best part about this? And then you can say, what's the hardest part about this? Or if you could change just one thing, or if there's anything you can improve, what would it be? You can ask them those kind of things. You know, when somebody is talking about maybe working graveyard, you know, what's the best part about it? What's the hardest part? And they're probably saying, going to talk about being tired and energy. Then you have a solution for them. There's all sorts of ways to ask them, hey, you know, what's the best part? What's the worst part? Is basically what we're asking when we ask the positive question first, and then follow it up with kind of a, if they didn't already say it, well, what would you like to be different? What would you like to be better? What would you like to change? The other one that's kind of fun to ask is, how would you like it to look? Or how would you like it to be? Or how do you see it? Or how would you like to, or how do you envision it being and turning out? Okay, because then they're talking about what they want. For example, there's another reason why you want to ask that kind of question of what do you want it to be, or what do you like? So let's say that you were going to do a bake sale for someone, and they said, you know, just bake any kind of cookie. And you ask them, well, do you like peanut butter? And they say no. And you go, okay, I just don't make peanut butter. And you go make something, but you didn't necessarily know what kind of cookie they did like, okay, because you didn't ask that. You want to ask them what they do want versus just kind of drilling them and trying to go down the steps and guess what they do like based on what they don't like. Do you know how we kind of can do that sometimes? Okay. So make sure you're asking what they actually want to have. Another one that I call it just finding common ground. So a couple months ago, you all know this, you pretty much could almost safely talk about the Seahawks in any grocery line, in any you know, restaurant, in any doctor's office. You could probably talk about the Seahawks, find some common ground, and they were going to want to talk with you, right? Okay, this was the subject at hand for a while. Sports and your local sports, that's one that's pretty easy that you can talk about. The weather. Okay, right now it is so hot in Tri-Cities. You may have someone who loves it or hates it or doesn't matter, but someone's going to talk about it because it's slightly abnormal and everyone's experiencing it. Okay, finding common ground. Another one that I like is, you know, where you're from, where do you live, especially in the town you're in. And then the other one is holidays. almost everybody celebrates the same holidays. And, what did you do for the 4th? All those kind of things. Asking about holidays is kind of a fun one too. That's nice and neutral, and everybody's having something to do with it. Even men, you can go, so, how much do you like Christmas? Or, have you already gone shopping for your wife? Or, there's always something that you can do along a holiday. So like common ground is kind of a really fun one to ask and get that dialogue going with them. Okay, so let's ask you, everybody take a turn coming off mute if you've got little people in the background. Which of these, I'll start with you, Jordan, because you have more experience with this. Out of all these different tips that you've been given to start a conversation, which one would you be most likely to give a try?
I'd first be starting off with probably the common ground and just trying to, make conversation that way. And usually, 9 times out of 10, when you just start talking to somebody about what's, common, things like that, have more opportunities to where you can start asking more questions that way too. And then that's where you put in, like the open-ended, positive questions, those kind of things.
Cool, excellent. How about you, Cassie? What would be easiest for you? Oh, hang on. Maybe I have to unmute you. There we go.
I didn't know how to do that.
That's fine.
I also finding common ground. That's how I usually talk to people in the grocery line constantly.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Or use my kids as a way to conversation.
Right. Exactly. Cool. What other of the techniques did you go, I might be able to do that? Anyone else? Or any others in there that you thought would fit you?
I mean, I'm not sure. Some of the earlier stuff I missed with my kid crying.
Oh, that's okay. I totally understand. That's pretty common.
Too, so.
Yeah, Jordan, she watches them recorded all the time, those little people. But
yes, that's my plan. Recorded.
Yeah. It's also nice to go back and watch it, even if you did see the whole thing. Most often, you don't remember the whole thing anyway, so it's totally fine. Okay.
Yeah.
My gal, Miss South Carolina. I can't remember your name. Caitlin. So, Caitlin, tell me which one of those things are you comfortable with using?
I would definitely say finding common ground or the holidays. Working at a gym, that's mainly the thing that you would say to people when they come in. So that's a really good conversation starter, especially. And then, of course, people just carry on from there and start talking and asking you questions and telling you basically their whole life story. So definitely those two would be the easiest for me.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay, Dana, how about you, hon?
Well, I was just thinking about it, and I'm actually probably one of the quietest people ever. So I'm like, I don't think I really start conversations with random people, but the common ground, it does sound like really good. And then complimenting people. I feel like if someone compliments me, then that's when I'm most open to just talking with them.
Yep.
But I guess coming up, I don't know if Jordan told you, I'm going to be moving to a whole new area and I'm not going to know anyone. So just asking about the area, I think would be a good opening conversation starter, and seeing like what they would recommend for places and then how they like those things.
Perfect.
So that would be good.
Excellent. Good job. Very well done.
I know. I think that's perfect because Dana's moving, and then Caitlin's in somewhat of a new place, and then also Leah is going to be moving to a different state too.
Wow. So, you guys are all having experiences. Okay, so Leah, how about you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. It took my computer a second to unmute. I don't know, what I like to try to find the common ground, and like, let's say I'm going to the grocery store or something, and I like to ask people questions about things I don't necessarily know about, I guess, because I almost feel like you know, if they tell me something, then they're more likely to listen to what I have to say too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
instead of buying some wine or something, I'm like, hey, have you tried that? What do you like about it? What do you not like? Like, let me learn something from you, so then you'll be more open to learning from me, type of thing. I guess is kind of what I try to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So does this make it feel any more comfortable to start conversations now?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not asking, is it totally comfortable, but is it take the edge off a little bit?
It's given me some ideas for sure.
Good, good, good. You really can do this. And the thing that I want you to remember is it's totally okay that with each conversation you have that they don't turn into a doTERRA customer.
Yeah.
I think when people learn these kind of things, then they start feeling pressured that I have to figure out how to make sure I bring this up every time. No, you don't. Okay, but let me tell you, if you don't talk to anybody, if you have 0 people you talk to, you will definitely have 0 customers. Okay. If you talk to 5 people, 2, 3 will be customers. That's better than 0. Okay, that's the whole thing with this. It's a numbers game. They won't all turn into customers. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to be, I'm telling you, the best thing about doing this, and I'm not kidding, the best thing about talking to people is that you get inspired by people. You get to hear their stories and you go home and you go, either, wow, my life could be harder, or wow, that person, she's got something figured out that I could learn from. I mean, today I got to meet, it was an appointment I had, and this, it's a long story. This guy heard me speak, wanted me to come in and interview for a job, basically, is what it comes down to. And so this gentleman meets me at the front, and he's very elderly, but he's spry. Like he's like on his game for how old he is. The guy is 94. He moved over here in 1940 when he was 19 years old from Germany. So this is when the whole war was going on. And he has these amazing stories. And I was just like, I mean, I just was like, oh, great. What? He's like 94 and still going to work. Okay. This was like a New York life. Yeah, he totally at work. And wanted me to come in. Anyway, he heard me speak about goals at a Kiwanis meeting. And so, and I'm like, this guy's 94. I mean, he's one of the few last people that were alive during World War II, and he lived in Germany. I mean, just amazing, amazing man. It was just so cool. So that is what's so cool about this. Don't worry about that you're not going to sell it to everybody. You're going to get inspired, and it's just fun, period, to do it. Okay. I know if you're naturally shy versus loud and outgoing like I am, I know it's harder to get started. But I know even introverts love to get to know people. And the cool thing about you guys, you just have to ask 1 or 2 questions, and then they do all the talking, and you stand back and be the introvert and be quiet again. You just have to get brave enough to ask a couple questions and then let them, blah, 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 you know, meet somebody like me who's talkative, and I'll do all the talking. Okay. You just have to get it started. You'll be surprised what happens. And
I being you know, before all the 6 Death challenges, doing these things, I was really shy when it came to strangers or, you know, starting conversations. But I feel like, you know, just like how you said, just starting to talk to people, and then not even it being turning into doTERRA, but I don't know, I've just benefited from it a lot, just meeting new people and opening up more as a person that way, and getting more confidence in myself.
cool, excellent. The other thing I was going to tell you is that, did you know which word in a human language is used more than any other word? Do you know what the word is?
No?
It's the word I. I is used 400 times more than any other word in the English language.
Oh,
Okay? That's how much people like to talk about themselves. Ask some questions. My husband, he's an introvert and he's shy. And when we first got married, he was telling some people at church, he goes, oh my gosh, my wife will invite anyone over for dinner after church. This is just like, that wasn't his thing. He goes, but the thing I found out is all I have to do is sit there and they'll do all the talking. I just have to, you know, be there and help with dinner. But I really don't have to do a lot because whoever we invite over always does all the talking. Okay, that's what this is. You just need to get it started, Let them talk. If they have a situation when you see there could be an oil that would be a fix, then I'm going to tell you how to move into that, okay? But just start talking to people. Okay, now one of the things that I see people do all the time is as soon as they hear one need of some sort, they just jump right on it. Oh, baby has a rash. Oh, I gotta tell you this thing, and you're really gonna like it, and it works really well. Da, 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 da. And it's like, whoa! For some reason, people, when we instantly come up with a solution on something, it makes people feel like, kind of feel like they're dumb and like it's something they already should have known about. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you remember that with your mom, like you may just been venting, or even with a husband, we just like want to talk about something and kind of vent about it. And when they go, "Ooh, I got the solution for you," you kind of go, "Wait, whoa, 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 I just was telling you about it. I'm going to figure it out. Don't, tell me the solution to it." Do you know what I mean? Have you ever had a situation like that? Okay, you kind of get what I'm saying. So what we have to do instead is ask a few more questions. Jordan modeled it really well just a few minutes ago. So if someone has a challenge that pops up, like it's headaches, backaches, baby rash, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is, you need to ask a couple extra questions. You need to ask, what have they already been using? How is it working? What else have they tried? Okay, then that shows how much we respect the fact that they've worked really hard to figure it out. Okay, so ask those 3 other questions. What have you used? How's it working? What else have you tried? Okay, then they've said lots of information that helps us better understand why they might need your oils. Okay, so then what you're going to do is ask permission. This brings it down, doesn't feel salesman-y. You say, "Hey, can I tell you about something?" And I'll even kind of fib if it's, and say it was a third party, because for some reason that they like to hear that versus it worked for you. I know somebody that had this, they use this oil. I happen to sell these oils. I had a friend that had a similar problem to you. And, I'm wondering if there's any chance that would also be a good fit for you. Okay. You want to put this word in there. It might be a good fit for you. For some reason, it allows them to see that you're not going to force on them this product. Okay. They get that, oh, okay, you're just going to tell me about it, and then I get to decide if it's a good fit. If you say things like, "Oh, I know exactly how you feel," if you say, "Oh, I have the perfect solution for you," anything like that, it doesn't come off as well. It makes them feel like you're trying to convince them of something. Does anyone like to try to be convinced? Okay, versus feeling like we've made our own decisions. Okay, that's what it does, is allows them to make their own decision, and it really feels different both for you and for them. So you just, when you hear that, you just say, "Hey, you know what, I would just love to bring a sample for you and see if it is something that works for you, if it's a good fit for you." Okay, does that feel a little more comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay, it really is easy. You've got to practice these sentences. Like, I'd encourage you to get in a group or call each other and practice saying, "I want to see if this is going to be a good fit for you," or find some way to put that word fit in there. It seems to help, but it won't roll off your tongue very easily at first. You'll kind of stumble over it and you'll feel dorky, and it's totally okay. See how much you can practice it before you go out and about. Okay, next time you have a meeting on the phone with Jordan, role play it 2 times. Go through it real quick. Have a scenario. I'm at the doctor's office. I said my baby has, seems to have colic a lot and stomach issues. Where do you go? What have you tried? How's it working? What else have you tried? Can I share with something that's a good fit? Okay, go down those questions. You got an opener. Okay, so, but like I said, it does feel funny at first, because you want to know the other funny reason why it feels funny is because y'all go out every day and buy stuff. Does anyone talk to you like this?
Mm-mm.
Is this how the typical salesperson acts? Which is why we hate sales, or why people think they hate sales, is because people don't know how to talk to each other. You are going to be a better salesperson than anyone else out there. because you're going to ask questions instead of just make assumptions and try to convince somebody that they should like what you like. You're totally just going to see if it fits for them. But you're going to be so much softer and kinder that they're going to trust you, and you actually will close a higher percentage than if you act like the person who is pushy and that you really hated at that last place you bought your car, or whatever the bad situation was it had when someone convinced you to buy something that you didn't really want. You see what I'm saying? Okay. You'll get more referrals, you'll get more repeat business because you made sure you sold them something that they really need. It's really kind of cool to see what happens. Did you know you could be less pushy and have more success? It's kind of fun, huh? Okay, so believe it or not. Okay, so I have a couple other quick rules I want to share with you on when you're out and about. Okay, who has business cards?
I do.
I do. Cassie, do you have business cards? Caitlin, who has business cards?
I have business cards.
Business cards? Okay, so this is my rule on business cards. When you go out and you're talking to people like you're going to start doing, you need to get their name and phone number. You just tell them straight out, I want to bring you a sample of this oil. So I need to get your name and phone number and their address if there's a specific one you already know to bring, unless you need to call them back and talk to them more about it. So I need your contact info. If you are tempted to give them a business card in hopes they will call you later and you don't have to contact them, then you don't get to carry them with you. No business cards, because if you don't carry them with you, then what will happen is you have to ask them for their contact information because you have no way to give them yours. Okay? If you promise to get their information before you give them your business card, you may do that. But if you don't take them with you, because then you will have to get their name and number, because that's the only way you have to contact them. Okay? Or know that you're going to make a contact, because they can't contact you because they don't have your number. So just understand, it's really, really important. The next thing is you need to call them within 24 to 48 hours. You got to get them when they're excited. So I'll even tell you about a mistake I made. There's a gal I called today. She was committed to doing one of the classes that I teach a couple weeks ago. I let too many days go by and she decided not to take it. I called her today. We went through the same conversation, found all the same needs she had, and she decided to take it again. And it's because we have to stay in the moment. Like I asked her what she remembered about what I told her about the class. She couldn't actually remember. She had forgotten why she was excited about it, which is why she decided not to do it. So when they're excited, when they can see that you have something to help them, especially if it's a colicky baby and they can't be up one more night, or they lay in pain all night because of some back pain or whatever it is, okay, get on it. Go be their hero. Help them figure that out. Okay, so make sure that you're keeping a record of the people that you contact and figure out what your track record is. How many people you meet versus how many turn into customers. Keep tweaking your questions as you go, and it'll get better and better and better. Okay? So what questions does anybody have any questions about how to do this? Okay, so let me tell you, if it's okay, I'm going to share with you just a couple classes, other classes that I teach from this. I actually am going to start something brand new. I'm going to do what's called a 30-day challenge, and it's all going to be about just finding new customers. Okay, for 30 days, that's what we're going to work on. We'll have this is called a Zoom call. We'll have one Zoom call a week, and we're going to help you break this down and figure out how to do it. And you'll have had experience. You'll go, what could I have said next? That's what always happens, is like something starts and you're not sure where to go with it. What could I have said next? And that I, for some reason, just have gotten good at doing, and I can help you figure those things out and practice it. Or where else can I go find more people? Or what could I have said in this situation? So we'll work on that for 4 weeks. That's a fun 30-day challenge I have that we're aiming to do, and I'll start adding more topics to it than just that one. So another one that I do is called the 90-day challenge. So Jordan, will you tell them a little bit about some of the topics that we've covered in the 90-day challenge?
Oh gosh, I'll have to get out my notes.
Tell them your
The
favorite three.
Yeah, the biggest ones are, which we do in some of our doTERRA challenges too, and so it's good to hear both points of view, but really like the goal setting and the vision boards. Vision boards are one of my favorites, and just writing those goals and having the goals be in present tense, like you've already have that goal done.
Mhm.
That one's been a real big one that I've used, that I've seen a lot of change with. And then this class with, how to talk and how to start conversations and ask questions, those kind of things. And then the goals. Those are the main ones that I've really been trying to focus on more. But I love that I have the videos and all the notes and everything that I can go back to. And when I have a little bit more time, study it up a little bit more.
Yeah, perfect. So these two different challenges, the 90-day challenge is fun. We get on once a week and we cover several different topics over these 90 days. So, it's about 12 weeks-ish. And it's amazing to see what happens. And you will learn how to ask questions in a group when you're doing classes. You'll learn how to ask questions when it comes to recruiting. You'll learn how to ask questions when it comes to referrals. You'll learn how to ask questions when you're talking to new people like this. There's like 16 different ways we learn how to ask questions, right, Jordan? So about every scenario you run into, we're going to teach you some questions to ask with that, right? And then from there, we go over goals, and we cover goals, and we cover goals until you're so comfortable with it, like you can set any goal. When you first get started with anything that you're doing, it's always kind of scary just first setting some goals. Most people have some fear of failure, fear of success. And you really start overcoming some of those things. Like, you hardly have any fear of failure anymore, do you, Jordan? Like, it's so different than 3 months ago when we got started, right? Okay, so it's pretty fun. So the way that I charge for my classes is kind of fun. It's called Sacred Economics, which that means is you pay what you feel like you can afford, okay? Some people start out with a down payment with kind of a deposit and then pay more later because they know after they apply these skills, they're gonna be making more money and can pay more. So there's a variety of ways that people do this. So our 30-day challenge, that one runs, people pay anywhere from $75 to about $150. My 90-day challenge, people pay anywhere between $300 and $600. People who have big teams and are team leaders and they're going to get a lot more out of it, that's who pays more for it. People that are new and starting out, they pay less. When I started with my first direct sales company, I emailed my gal that was 3 above me who had a big title in the company. And I said, okay, I want to make money at this. What do I do? And I'm not kidding you. The only thing I got back from her was a note that said, just be real enthusiastic. That's all I got. And I had no idea where to turn. Now, you guys are really lucky because you have Jordan, and she is sharp, and she studies really hard, and she works her tushy off. But when you want good follow-up and good training, it is really fun to do a program like this. And where she's already done it, when you're doing it and then you guys brainstorm together, it's really, really powerful, the things that you can accomplish and how much faster you'll accomplish them. Do you think you'd be in the same place you are right now, Jordan, without some of the trainings you've been participating? I know you haven't done just mine, but all the trainings you've had?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, huge difference.
Has it been expensive compared to how much you've made?
No. Mm-mm.
Is it well paid for itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's the thing. Most people will have a couple parties and or classes or whatnot, and it will easily have paid for itself and then several times over because you'll continue to do more business. So one of the things I do is just offer you a free consult. If you'd like to chat with me to see if either of those workshops would be a good fit for you, I just give you a quick jingle, we chat, we see what goals you have, we figure out which of those classes would be better for you, if any of them at all. Maybe you're really good at this stuff. If there's someone who's good at this stuff, I just tell them, hey, I don't have anything for you. Or if the goals they have doesn't match up with this, it's totally fine. So just give me a heads up. Tell me who would be interested in just a little consultation to find out if either of these classes would be a good fit for you. So you just give me a hey me, and then I'll get your phone number from you real quick.
I would. I'm thinking of when.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit. Why don't you give me your phone number real quick?
Okay. It's 509-554-4827.
Okay, will you repeat the first again?
Yeah, 509.
Okay.
554.
554-4827.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you available more during the day or in the evening?
I'm thinking right now the evening would be better just because my husband's home and can do the kids. But usually during their nap time too. But that's iffy because if they wake up.
Okay, so is this a cell phone number?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to text you. I'm going to go,
Okay.
can we chat? This is Michelle. Like, I'll remind you because it'll be a number pop up that you don't know. This is
Okay.
Michelle. We chatted about this. Do you have a minute to talk? Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll pick
Perfect.
a time. Okay. All right. Cassie or Lee or Caitlin, anyone up for it?
Hey, this is Leah. Yeah, I'm up for it. But also I'm not really sure when.
Okay. Why don't you start with your phone number, hun?
509
Okay.
539 1909.
539-1909.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So what's your schedule look like, day or evening?
Probably day, midday.
Day, midday? Okay. Are you, do you have lots of little kiddos too, or what's your?
My schedule's pretty hectic. Yeah, I'm constantly have the kids with me, and
Okay.
their schedule's not really that. I don't really have a good schedule.
Okay, this is what I usually do. I either text and call, or I'll call if they didn't pick up. I'll text, and because if you don't recognize my, I don't know about you guys, but I don't usually pick up numbers I don't recognize. I'm like, if we don't know each other well enough for your name to pop up on my phone, so I'll just go, hey, this is me, and they go, oh, and they call me back or something. So we'll find a time. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Guys, we're all getting on. I hope you guys learned some good stuff.
Yes. Cassie or Caitlin, and either of you up for this?
Yeah, I'm not really sure when either. I'm actually moving back to Washington State here soon.
Okay.
So I'm really busy this whole month, but maybe after that.
Okay. So in August, call you in August?
Yeah.
Perfect. What's your number, Caitlin?
509
Okay.
528
Okay.
9488.
9488. Okay. We'll figure out what works best for you, okay? And I'll just send you a text. Are you wanting to do business while you're doing this move, or just don't want to think about it until the move's done?
Yeah, I might want to just think about it till the move's done.
Okay. Some people really want to figure out how to do both. And some people I only want to think about one thing at a time. So either is fine. Okay, Cassie, are you up for it? Yes, it's totally fine if you're not. Just curious.
Yeah, you can.
What's your
I
phone?
have the. Oh, okay. It's 509
Okay.
439
Okay.
0417.
0417. And you got kiddos? So
Yes, I.
text too?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, sweet girl. We'll get to chat again. Okay, ladies, you're amazing. You're super, super awesome, okay? Just know that, gosh, I always wish I could take out of my heart and go, I was where you were at one day. I was there. I remember being at ground floor and going, can I really do this? And you can, okay? You totally can. So you just take one step at a time, and you try one outside the box thing at a time. And I mean, Jordan is not even the same person. She's just as sweet and wonderful as cool. But boy, she's got confidence way different than she did 90 days ago. I mean, it's just amazing. So you guys, you will be surprised how fast things can grow and the amazing things you can accomplish. It's not easy. I did it with, I have little ones. I have 14 through 5. It's a little bit different, but I did it with little ones too and grew big business. It's a little tricky, but it totally can be done. And if you learn, we love to multitask anyway. So if you're out and about, you might as well find a customer while you're out, right? Okay. So, and then do really good classes and all that kind of stuff. So it's totally cool. Thank you so much for having me. Text me or email me with any questions. I think you've probably passed on my information to them. Do you mind sending me their email addresses, Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then I will download this video and send it to you. Go ahead.
Awesome. No, that was exactly what I was asking.
Yep. And then your other gals who couldn't make it, they're welcome to watch it, and you can ask them if you want me to follow up with them.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. All right. Anybody that's in town, come over to Yoplicity. I'm headed over there. We're signing people up for a walk. I had a child who didn't have knees that went home 30 minutes after he was born, and we raise money to help people pay for funerals when they have children under a year pass away. So it's a really good cause, and anyway, it's something that he's in a good place. Don't be sad for me, okay? We all have our heart, but when you're in the middle of it, it's ugly. So we need to give people some support, because when you have hospital bills and funeral bills, it's not nice. So come see me at Yoplicity. It's hotter than heck. It's a good place to be tonight. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure. Thank you, Jordan. You're amazing. You inspire me.
Thank you.
Bye, ladies.
Thanks.